Good morning, beautiful being. It is lovely to be inside with you. I may yet take the scarf off. It's not actually that cold in here. It's chilly outside. And I'm inside because the wind is blowing and we have gale force warnings. But, there's no rain, which is nice because it's been stormy, wintry, weathery things for the last few days. So we're inside doing the rocks. Good morning, Mike. It's lovely to see you. And I'm going to start with an oldie but a goodie. I'm very fond of this. Morning, Holly. Lovely to see you. And, well, no surprise, it's fluorite. This is a natural octahedron. They just grow like this. Common as muck, but I'm very fond of it. And it really is white fluorite on top and green underneath. So I just enjoy that. And you can see the little, my fingers are in the way of the light, you can see the landscape, the hills and valleys of the layers. Fluorite's lovely. So there it is. And now we have one or two from my friend Jenny. Now, this is literally unknown on quartz. So the unknown thing is the little sphere. Nobody knows what that is. It's something special. And the sparkly stuff, of course, is quartz. And it's from, I don't know. No, I don't know. It doesn't say. So there's a lot of unknown about this, but isn't it groovy? A little sphere of something and nobody knows what it is. And there's the rock it's growing on, which looks a little bit like New Zealand greywacky, but I don't think it is. It'll be from Africa or somewhere exotic. So that's one of our mystery, unknown, interesting rocks. Hey, it's you. Yeah, it does look like coral, doesn't it? But trust me, this is not from the sea. Good morning, beautiful being. And last but not least, this is a stillbite bow. Stillbite grows like this, and it looks like a bow. So it's very nifty. There it is. And beautiful thing. And it's got this interesting little bit here. Now this one, I took the label off because it was kind of in the way. This is from Namibia. And I enjoy it very much. You're watching Aquaman too. Oh, wow. Multitasking. Congratulations. So there it is. And, what a funny thing. Can you see the structure there? It's also kind of bow-shaped. It's, the ends of the blades, which make up this thing, actually are forming an arrow there, and they're also forming a chevron there. So the structure is very specific and quite wonderful. And then it's got this little interesting bit on the end, which who knows what that is. But there it is. So, good morning, beautiful beings. It is great to see you. And one of you made a comment somewhere about feeling confident. We were having a little conversation. And I thought that was a really good conversation to have because many people, including me, struggle with something that we want to be, right? I'm just choosing confidence today because I know a lot of people would love to feel more confident in themselves. But really, as always, anything that you're not and you'd really like to be, this is how it happens. And the thing is that your confident self, and good morning, I can see you jumping on, even if I don't remember quite who you all are. It's lovely to have you here. Your confident self exists within you already. Trust me, he or she or they are there. Or to put it in the way that my inspiration, Dr. Joe Dispenza, says, in the unified field, there are limitless possibilities. Every possibility, every parallel lifetime, every parallel universe exists as a possibility, as energy. Julian, good morning. In the unified field. So it's not that your confident self or your healed self or your abundant self or your whatever self doesn't exist. It's just that you're really used to being somebody else. And if you want to make the change, well, you have to know that that self is already there. And it's actually waiting for you to stop being your fearful self. It's actually waiting for you to cut that out. And trust me, I know whereof I speak. I am doing this big time right now. Not about confidence, about something else. But trust me, I'm overcoming my fear. Believe me. So I know that there is a me who has mastered my past, because remember, all of your memories and your survival emotions, everything that you know, everything you've experienced is your past. There's nothing inside your memory banks that is your future unless you have been consciously choosing to create and imagine and give yourself an experience in advance of your future. Then you're going to have memories of your future in your mind. If you haven't been doing that, all you've got in your brain and in your body is memories of the past. And they run like programs, and they run automatically. Stimulus, response, thought, feeling, kaboom, here we are back in the old feelings of who we're used to being, and we think it's us, and it's not. But it's so easy. So the self that is on the other side, that has mastered that past, those memories, the conditioning, the who you're used to being, that self is there. But it's waiting for you to stop being who you are right now. And therein lies the rub, because most people don't have the determination and frankly the passion and the desire to want to overcome who they've been being all this time in order to become someone else. What they want is for something outside of them to change so that they can then feel differently. But the challenge with that is that we are always broadcasting a signal to the universe saying, this is who I'm being, give me more of that, and bring it to me in a way that surprises me so I really know that it's, amazing and it's from the universe. Who you're being is what you get. Like, that's a painful pill to swallow, trust me. So, we have to have more determination and passion and love for our future than we have for our past. We have to be willing, more in love and more determined and more in love with something that is unknown to us and therefore frightening, believe me, than what we know, which can be limiting and painful and, oh my God, I hate this and I want it to be different, but it's so damned easy to be, really easy. And we can come up with all the stories about why it is that way and who did this to whom and what's going on in my life that means I feel like this. And we can use all of those things as excuses for continuing to be the way we've always been. And then nothing's going to change, because I'm still sending the same signal to the universe, and the universe has absolutely no choice but to give me more of that. It has to match like with like. And if I'm going to become a confident, healed, abundant, loved, whatever it is person, in the absence of somebody suddenly walking up to me and saying, here you are, here's $10 million, go and have the wonderful life you always wanted. And by the way, that doesn't make any difference, because you're still the scared, broken, victimized, sick, whatever person you are, $10 million or not. I know that's hard to believe, but I've had the experience of something that's similar enough to that to know that it makes absolutely no difference to who you are. If you're scared before you get what you think you want, you're going to be scared after. If you're sick before, you're going to be sick after, until you actually change who you are. Excuse me, that's my phone company sending me a message. So, this is the deal. We have to realize that the self we want to be is waiting for us to be that self. But if we're going to do that, we have to realize that who we've been being is not who we can continue to be. And to make that change, you really have to put some significant effort, and I mean it's an effort, into deciding who you want to be. And when you've decided that, you got to get about the business of getting a little more specific, not about what that person has and where they live and all of that, which may be great if you can do that and it inspires you, but for me it always used to throw me into massive amounts of lack. I couldn't do that. For me, I would always come back to, again, what I've learned from Joe, which is how am I thinking, how am I feeling, and by contrast, that me who is living the life that I want to live, how does that person think and how does that person feel and what does that person do that I don't? Make the comparison between my thoughts now and my thoughts in that future, my behaviors now and my behaviors in that future, my feelings now and my feelings in that future. Now that's a tough one because we're not used to creating happy, positive, whatever good feelings without something outside of us changing to give us a reason to feel that way. But that's what we have to do. We have to make the change. And the only thing I can say is that for most of us, that change is incremental. And I know what it's like to feel like you're standing at the bottom of a mountain looking up, and you're supposed to move this mountain and you have a trowel. You don't even have a digger. It wouldn't matter if you had a digger. The mountain's still a mountain. But we have to start somewhere, and it means becoming aware of who you've been being and deciding who you want to be and choosing one thing that you can change today and dedicating yourself with passion and determination to make that change. And not give yourself excuses and not let yourself off with this, oh, it's too hard. I mean, it's just like breaking a habit of saying, oh, I'm not going to smoke or I'm not going to have sugar today or whatever. It's the same thing. The conditioning in your body comes up and says, oh, no, it's all right. As Joe says, come on, judge a little. We just get so accustomed to being who we're being, and we want to be somebody else, but we don't realize that this is where it happens. And so you've got to get to know who that person is, and intimately. Not just, oh, that person lives in a wonderful house and they feel happy and secure and healed and everything else. Well, what does that mean moment to moment? When they're living, what are they thinking? And, oh, geez, what am I thinking that's different to that? And it's hard because you've got to see outside your own box and notice thoughts that you've never paid attention to. And one way to catch those thoughts, because everything starts with thought. Remember, when you have a thought in your brain, you make a chemical, and that chemical very quickly gets your body to feel the way you've just been thinking. And then, because your brain is spying out on your body all the time, your brain says, oh, the body's feeling insecure, I better think up some more insecure thoughts. And round it goes, and it's very easy for us to just keep on thinking and feeling in this loop continually, on and on and on. So what do we want, and the baby steps, as you say, and the baby steps through the screaming. When it roars up inside of you that says, no, you can't do that. You can't make that change. It's too big. It's a mountain and you have a trowel. Tap, 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 mountain, please move. And you feel like you're literally standing there or sitting there or whatever it is, just saying, oh, I want this to go away. But if you are thinking, oh, I really want this to be different. I wish it was different. Oh, gee. That's a pretty powerless, disempowered thought. And so you're going to be feeling pretty powerless, disempowered feelings when you think those thoughts. And I have them myself, and I think, hang on, whoa. Here I am wishing and hoping that something's going to change. Laura, good morning, honey. How does that work? Because what signal am I sending to the universe when I say, oh, gee, I wish it was different? I'm saying I wish it was different. I'm feeling victimized. I'm feeling disempowered. I'm feeling like I can't change this. And what can the universe give me but more of that? And I have to get out of that which has become my resting state, my normal state of being, that which is easy for me. I have to get out of that. somehow. And sometimes that's very, very difficult. By the way, when I say getting out of a resting state, I'm referring to something that I've learned about nerves, right? Nerves have the ability to carry an electrical charge from one end to the other. And it's all about potentials that go in and out of the cell membrane. And that's about as much as I'm going to tell you before I screw it up and get confused myself. But there is a point, a neuron's there, and it's called the action potential. It has the ability to fire, but there's got to be enough of a charge on it. There's got to be enough excitement, literally electrical excitement in the neuron. It's got to build up enough, or from neighboring neurons, that it fires. It's got to come out of its resting state. It's got to get more energy, literally. Once it fires, the nerve impulse is going to go. It doesn't stop once it's begun. It's gone, and it either transmits or whatever at the end, but it fires once it's reached a threshold of internal energy. And we literally have to do the same thing. We literally have to practice being that person that feels happy and safe and secure and wealthy and healthy and whatever else it is. We have to practice that. And we have to do it with enough passion and determination to get out of our resting state of disempowerment or fear or whatever it is. Now, it helps a hell of a lot if you know how to slow your brain down and get deep into your operating system. It really does, because eventually, if you know how to do that, the analytical mind with all its thoughts and its programs and its fears and everything else just shuts up. It goes to sleep, and it's such a relief when it does. Such a relief to me right now when my analytical mind finally calms down, my body comes into the present moment, it's not freaking out about anything, and there I can create. There I have some dominion over myself, and it's such a relief to get there. But also, with my eyes open, I have to be aware about what programs I'm running and decide if I'm just going to let them run or if I'm going to make a different choice. And I can't always stop the programs. Sometimes my body is so, it's powerfully doing what it's doing, and all I can do is just sit back and watch it. Oh, gee, wow, that's running. Gee, I better try and put my breathing in my heart. To try and make some change, and it always helps, right? It always does, because I've practiced it enough that I've gotten good at it. But it's not about always being able to just overcome everything in the moment, because we're human, and sometimes it's just too monumentally difficult. But the point is that I try. The point is I don't just roll over and give in and say, well, it's just too hard today. I mean, it's not in my nature to do that. It never has been. It's a blessing and a curse. So and there's this delicate balance between sheer determination and knowing when to let go. And I'm walking that line fairly sensibly, I think, at the moment. So, to recap, the you that you want to be absolutely exists. But you have to be determined enough and dedicated to yourself enough and passionate enough and in love with your possibilities and yourself and the possibility of something new, which remember is unknown and therefore potentially scary to you. Certainly scary to your body because it knows what it knows and it wants to stay there. You have to be enough of that you're willing to leave behind what you know, the thing you've done and been and whatever for so long. So your confident self is there. You just got to know who that person is. And you got to get to know that person moment to moment, thought to feeling to behavior. And you literally got to tune into them enough that you can become them. And the more you do that, the more the other you is going to stop being who you are. And we do a lot of flip-flopping. We do a lot of going backwards and forwards, but that's what we have to do. And there's really nothing else. There's really nothing else to do except that, to change ourselves. one way and another, that is what happens. And, you know, I've said it before, I'll say it again because it's so true, and I have to remind myself, nobody changes their life until they change their energy. What that means is, it doesn't matter what you do until you feel differently. You're still that person. You're still who you are, being scared or lackful or whatever it is, until you change how you feel. And that's not easy. But that's what we have to do, because the feeling is the broadcast, and it says to the universe, this is what I'm being. Give me more of this. Good morning, James. It's lovely to see you. So that's what I wanted to say. It's the work of a lifetime to overcome who we've been for a lifetime and become somebody else. But I know, because I've listened to enough people tell their stories, that if they can do it, so can I, and so can you. But it takes determination, and it takes a deep decision. Enough. Can't blame anybody or anything else. I know there's shit everywhere, but let's just put the pin in the map and say it starts and ends with me. I create my life, and if I created this, I can create something else. And then starts the wall. Well, do I really believe that? And who am I if I am? And if I've done that, and if I've overcome my past and I've become my future? And that is the choice that we're all consciously or unconsciously making all of the time. So, thank you for joining with me today. I am so grateful to share with you. Very much love. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.